minivan, sports car, SUV, PlayStation? For 2026, EVs and logic are canceled. The car industry isn't designing cars anymore. They're throwing a tantrum in a lab, and it is glorious. They're not building cars anymore. They're building memes. And today, we're counting down the 7 most beautifully unhinged cars of the near future. Dodge, Chevy, and even Sony are just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what memes stick. It's like the entire industry is being run by a particularly unhinged YouTube comment section, and I am here for it. Let's start with Dodge, the brand that's embraced chaos. Remember the Durango SRT Hellcat, the 7-seat family bus that could delete a Lamborghini? They brought it back with the Jailbreak edition. It's like Build-A-Bear for sociopaths. You want purple seatbelts? Done. A lime green spoiler? Sure. Horsepower numbers that make your insurance agent spontaneously combust? Absolutely. And people are lining up. Dodge said, "Here's a menu of chaos," and car guys went, "Shut up and take my money." But what happens when you give suburban dads 700 horsepower? You get burnout marks in front of Whole Foods. You get neighborhood group chats filled with complaints about that noise. You get a kid showing up to prom in a car that eats Priuses for breakfast. It's beautiful. Then they killed the V8 Charger and replaced it with the Six-Pack, a straight-six all-wheel drive thing. The name Six-Pack doesn't scream muscle car anymore. It screams the focus group was at a brewery. But don't get it twisted, this thing rips. Showing up in a gas car in 2026 is like bringing a chainsaw to a Tesla meetup. Dodge is just out here making a 6-cylinder so angry it'll key your neighbor's Model Y just for existing. Now, if Dodge is the older brother, Chevy is the dad who had a midlife crisis and bought a skateboard. Someone at GM decided the Corvette shouldn't be a car, it should be a brand. First, the Corvette Zora, mid-engine, hybrid, supercar killer. Chevy looked at Ferrari and said, "What if we did that but for half the price and with actual cup holders?" This thing has so much power it makes people sell their kidneys on Facebook Marketplace just for a down payment. But then they lost their minds. They're making a Corvette SUV. Yeah, a tall, sporty, deeply cursed Corvette SUV. It's like if KFC suddenly released sushi. Sure, someone might buy it, but at what cost to our collective soul? Corvette fans are already keyboard warrior level mad. But you know they'll buy one, they'll complain online, then secretly sign the paperwork because their wife said she needs more trunk space. Speaking of glorious nonsense, Hyundai is actually building the Envision 74, that wedge-shaped cyberpunk thing from the car shows. It looks like a DeLorean had a baby with a Gundam. It runs on hydrogen, which is like saying it runs on fairy dust and hope, because good luck finding a fuel station. But it doesn't matter. People will buy this thing just to park it in their garage and stare at it. Imagine pulling up to Cars and Coffee in this. Every Mustang owner would just slowly walk away in shame. Meanwhile, their luxury division, Genesis, is rolling out the GV90. Imagine a spaceship that had a baby with a massage chair, suicide doors, swivel seats, a screen wider than your TV. It's so luxurious, it's quiet. When those seats swivel, you could host a mini K-pop fan meet right in your SUV. Tell me that's not a TikTok waiting to happen. Then there's Nissan. They looked at their Frontier pickup and said, SUV? The Frontier Pro SUV is like if your favorite flannel shirt dad started doing CrossFit. You don't know if you should laugh, cheer, or be deeply concerned. Picture one in a desert, roof rack loaded, looking like the last surviving Uber in Mad Max. And then Sony. Yes, the PlayStation people. Their car is called Afeela, a name I'm convinced came from a cat walking on a keyboard. It's an EV covered in sensors like a paranoid robot with a dashboard that's just a giant TV. You can play PlayStation in it. That's either the coolest thing ever or the fastest way to cause a 12-car pileup because someone rage quit Elden Ring. If this thing gets a Gran Turismo edition, it'll be the first car that can play itself in its own video game. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Polestar, Volvo's cooler, minimalist cousin.
The Polestar 6 Roadster is all-electric, convertible, and its vibe is less race car and more Beach Boys if they were really into oat milk. This isn't a car you buy to drive fast. It's a car you buy to post thirst traps with it in Malibu. Picture a guy with a man bun saying, "It's not about speed, it's about vibes." And honestly, good for him. And finally, Jeep. They made a Wrangler EV called the Recon. Silent off-roading. It feels wrong. Where's the rumble, the noise? Instead, you're just creeping over rocks in total silence like a creepy ecological ninja. The good news? Instant electric torque makes it a mountain goat. The bad news? You can no longer hear the bros saying bro. So, there you have it. Dodge is selling horsepower like candy, Chevy's having an identity crisis, Hyundai built a time machine, Sony made a PlayStation with seats, and Jeep went silent. The auto industry has lost its mind, and honestly, it's the most fun it's been in decades.
Subscribe to keep up with all this.